Hello friends, I am Kanchan from Akulmach Technologies and welcome to our show. Today we would like to discuss about this agriculture bill which is passed by the government on 27th of September 2020, and regarding this lot of agitation is going on. So we'll be discussing this more, and for this discussion, we would like to invite our esteemed guest, Mr. Sitesh Srivastava, who has a deep interest in corporate training. He is also actively involved marketing and business development, and he has closely studied and seen this bill. So, without wasting any time, I would like to invite in this show Mr. Sitesh Srivastava. Sitesh, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I am well, Kanchan. How are you doing?
I'm fine. So today,
This is interesting.
Yes. Today I just seen the news since morning. There's a lot of agitation happening in India about this three farmers protection bill. So I have also studied and I have found out that this is quite a farmer-friendly bill where a farmer can sell their produce to any of the state without giving any tax or cess, and they have choice to choose a trader. They have lucrative pricing. So why this whole agitation is going on?
So, Kanchan, our country primarily with the agricultural produce, there always has been a very, very sensitive thing about the farmers, the produce, and the bigger part of this is that some parts of our country are more fertile than the other parts of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, most of the rich farmers, in India, there has been a perception that farmers are always poor. And that has been a perception which is being exploited both ways, corporate side, political side. And the real issue is the percentage of the rich farmers versus the poor farmers. And we understand that the poor farmers are more and more in number as compared to rich farmers in very, very fertile states.
Right.
Therefore, this always has been a very, very sticky issue where these protests that are happening now, the government's contention is that they want to free the farmer from the minimum support price and one more bill. And because this minimum support price has been there for, I think, a couple of decades now, the whole purpose of removing it is to give more freedom to the farmer to choose whom they want to sell directly.
Right.
But as you know, Kanchan, there is always a resistance to the change.
Right.
First, because the farmers, do they really know how their produce will reach to the last mile customer?
Mm-hmm.
Do they really, be able to focus on the retail dynamics that are there in our country? Or they would again become a pawn of some of the big industrial houses?
Yeah, actually, yes. I just want to add one thing, because I think this whole bill is basically to free farmers from the clutches of the mediators, which are already there for many years now, maybe more than 70 years. Now, I think this bill provides protection and empowers farmers. They can sell their produce anywhere. So that means they will not be selling in some decided areas, but they can sell it outside the areas, anywhere. So I think that gives more lucrative to farmers. So I in the second thought think that maybe this protest is not done by farmers. Or what is your opinion?
My opinion, Kanchan, is that this has to be discussed in the parliament. Of course, me and you are probably only knowing some of the laws and we are giving our opinion, but the lawmakers of our country need to be discussing it. And of course, no bill like this will ever get in our Indian system a thumping majority by the both benches of the parliament. But at the same time, Kanchan, this is important to understand the larger intent of the government. So the larger intent seems to be to free the farmer from the mandis,
Right.
to free the farmer from the clutches of the mandis,
Right.
and let them reach to the direct customer,
Right.
which is I would say a great thought. It's a great imperative. But reality is something like this, Kanchan. You know, you are sitting in Hyderabad, very close to the chili growing plantation. You know, the Gundu chili. You know, Bengal is not very far from Telangana, which is the rice bowl of the country. Now, a farmer from the rice bowl will not be able to reach Chennai to sell directly.
Okay.
And the intent of the bill is great, but the logistical challenges, the decades, the practice that has been in between the middlemen, how to remove it? Will there be a punitive action towards it?
Yes.
Or the opposition parties say that they are losing, the farmers will lose out, whereas the unwritten that I have heard, Kanchan,
Right.
is that the corporate houses will benefit because they will have no borders.
Right.
They can from one place complete stock, and the rest of the place will not get any buyer. The buyer can be mobilized. So the seller can also be mobilized, the buyer can also be mobilized. Now, seeing for last couple of years, Kanchan, that international retail giants are trying to come to India, and
Right.
the agri-produce of the country
Right.
needs to be protected, needs to be diversified, and the end game has to be with the farmer.
Right. So
Right.
yes, definitely. But I think that government is trying to make an ecosystem and the freedom of choice for farmers. And maybe you're right when you say that there are some very rich farmers and there are poor farmers. But then earlier, before this bill, what I feel, all the farmers were into the clutches of a system which is being mediator, then mandi, then we have to pay mandi tax. So now I feel the farmer is kind of free from these small taxes which they were giving before. It is a direct produce contact to the buyer, and now buyer can be anybody. Let's take maybe a corporate, but now it's the choice of a farmer where to sell. If they want to sell it, and I think there is a slab also before on above that particular price they cannot sell. So that I think is being taken care. Suppose one farmer is in Bengal and want to sell it in Orissa. So I think after taking care of the logistics, he can very well plan the price, and then again it will not be more than which is prescribed by the law. And he has, if you subtract logistic, he has the real price of his produce. I think that that is a benefit which farmer is getting.
Correct, Kanchan, you are right. As I said, intention of the government is good. Okay, and I believe no Indian government would do anything to hurt the farmers, which are our annadata. You know, we treat them like that. All our festivals are around our agricultural crops.
Right.
But you know what? When we are bound by some system, we are become used to of that system.
Yes.
It's very hard to resist change.
Right.
So I would put an analogy, Kanchan, something like this. We have a censor board, and all the movies and the television content goes through the censor board.
Right.
Therefore, there is a censor. We still have some glitches in it. We still raise eyebrows through the censor system. But then we have an OTT platform, there is no censor. And we land up into something which is a very thin line between a creative freedom versus what should be portrayed. Similarly, farmers are worried about the regulation which is not there outside the mandi system. Today, we are making our farmers free, but there is no regulation on the other side of the mandi. So mandis, they are regulated by minimum support price, and the another bills are there. Otherwise, 31 farmer organizations are opposing it. One of the government's main partners have actually quit. So there needs to be a debate around it.
Yes.
And there needs to be a farmers' inclusion has to be important about it. India has seen farmers' protests even before, and therefore I think the farmer organization, these 31 farmer organizations that I talk about, they need to be brought to the table. It needs to be seen, and probably we need to introduce this bill in an incremental fashion.
Right.
Rather than through an ordinance. Parliament is not sitting. So I'm saying that yes, it looks very nice. I mean, it is like saying that today everybody in the country has got a mobile phone.
Right.
Has it increased the productivity of an average Indian? That is a cool thing. So I truly believe, Kanchan, that our farmers are our food givers. We need to thank farmers for our daily food, and we need to see that the poor farmers, the farmers who have been committing suicide in the Vidarbha region for years,
Right.
they need to be taken care. The eastern side farmers, whether I say that, I mean, there cannot be 100% perfect policy. There may not be 100% perfect regulation, but our country is known for dialogue. Our country is known for a great parliamentary system, and therefore everybody should be able to talk about it. Of course, the one that will have a more majority will take the systems ahead.
Right.
Okay, I don't want that the country should be stopped due to this. The life is lost. We are already under corona at this point of time. What do you say?
Yes, I think you have made quite interesting points, and though the intention of government is very fine, it's right that they want to free farmers from the clutches of mediators, and they are giving lucrative price. They are giving opportunity to sell outside the already decided trading areas, and connecting farmers to the traders, giving electronic trading platform. But if there is some unrest, I think we should sit on the table, across the table. We can sit and find out what is the problem. On overall, I feel this is a good bill, and if there are concerns, I think everybody should come forward and really work on it.
Agreed.
Yes.
100%. That's how
Yes.
Indian democracy has flourished, and that's why we are the largest democracy in this world, and I'm proud of it.
Yes, we are all proud of it. It was wonderful talking to you, Sitesh. We'll meet again with some more interesting topic. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.